I've been trading for about 5 years. I haven't talked about it much, but I've been putting up some way bigger numbers recently because I've been trading with a prop firm. Before I was trading with my own money, but the leverage I get from prop firms, I can just trade way more. And I've been putting up some big numbers. In fact, I got $50,000 worth of payouts this month from Apex Trader Funding. And I just want to give you my 7 trading rules that changed my life. These are the rules that made me a profitable trader. And if you break them, you're screwed. They're rules. You can't be out here breaking rules and expect to succeed. Well, okay, here's the thing. You can break rules and still win. It's still, because anything can happen. The problem with breaking a rule and being successful is that it trains you to break your rules. Think about how you train an animal. When your motherfucking dog does something you like, does something good, you give it a treat or something or pet it, and then it'll do that shit again. But if your dog does some you don't like, I don't know, like your bed, eat up your shoes, on your girlfriend, and you got to punish that dog. I don't know what y'all do to punish a dog. I never owned a dog, so I don't know if you hit him with a newspaper, fucking pistol whip him. I don't know how it works. But you do something to get him to stop doing it. The problem with breaking your rules is if you actually succeed breaking your rules, you are training yourself to break the rules again. And that's how you end up blowing your motherfucking account and losing a bunch of money. So here are my 7 rules that I don't break for nothing. The first one, only trade one instrument. This is for day trading. If I'm swing trading, then, you know, I'll swing trade in because it's a little different. But when I'm day trading, I only trade one instrument. And what I trade is NASDAQ futures. There's a reason for this. The reason I only trade one is not because I can't trade anything else, but when you trade the same instrument, especially at the same time of day for a long enough period of time, you start to kind of learn it. You start to understand how it moves. You understand its proclivities. You understand things about it. It's kind of like when you made love to the same person over and over again. A lot of times it gets better. And the reason it gets better because you learn each other's body. You learn what they like. They learn what you like. And the sex can get better over time. Same thing with trading one instrument. Now, the first time you have sex with a new person, if you're a girl, you just, you know, let it happen. You just do. If you're a girl, it's like whatever. The onus is on the guy to make the sex good, right? But if you're a guy, you can make love to one girl one way. And you can make love to another girl the exact same way. With this girl, it could be the best shit you ever had, and this girl can hate it, and they're both right. So that's why it's like sometimes when you have sex with a new person, you're trying to make this chick come. It's almost like trying to defuse a bomb, right? Because you only got a little bit of time to figure this shit out before you get bored. It's like picking a lock that you don't know the combination to. But once you've learned the combo, now you can do it all the time. It's the same thing with trading the same instrument over and over again. So don't try to day trade multiple instruments. Pick one, stick to it. Number 2, stick to one trading strategy. So I have friends who've made a lot of money trading. I was kicking it with, you know, one of my boys is Casper SMC. I was talking to him today. I was texting him today. We were talking about something today, but I do not trade with him. I do not trade the way he trades. And that's okay. And he doesn't trade how I trade. That's okay. One of my boys, he was trading with Apex. He got paid over $1 million in payouts trading with Apex. And I don't use his strategy, but it's all good. I practice one strategy over and over again. And I do one strategy in one setup. And I look for that same thing over and over again. And I will wait as long as I need to for that setup to set up. When I sit down at the chart, I'm willing to take 50 trades that day. And I'm also willing to take 0. I would only trade when my setup's there. But when my setup's there, I will trade. You know, Bruce Lee said, I'm not afraid of the nigga who did 1,000 kicks 1,000 times. I'm afraid of that motherfucker who practiced the same kick 10,000 times. You want to be that motherfucker. You practice the same kick 10,000 times, man. And that's what I do, right? Then you get good at that kick. Now, that doesn't mean I don't know other setups. That doesn't mean I don't know other strategies. Sometimes I'll be looking at the chart, I'll be like, oh, this is the trade that Casper would take. Yep. Or like my boy Greg, Young Candlestick, he trades with us, and I have a trading Discord where, you know, people can trade with me. And my boy Greg, he trades different than me. And all this week he wasn't on there. And I was like, oh, this is what Greg would take if y'all want to trade like Greg. So I understand other people's shit, but I only trade one strategy, one setup, and I mastered it. Now, once you got your one instrument and you got your one strategy, what I'm about to say you right now, if you do what I'm about to say, you'll probably be a better trader than almost everyone you know. And it's this: get at least 100 hours of practice trading your strategy on your instrument at the same time frame. What does that look like? Well, for me, I would go into NinjaTrader, download historical data from other days, and then I would run the market open over and over again on different days and make them random and just run my strategy over and over and over again. I would just keep doing it, and I made sure I got 200 hours before I started trading with Apex. 200 hours of trading one strategy on one instrument. Anybody does this, I promise you, you're gonna get better at this shit. You're gonna get better at it because it's a skill, and that doesn't mean that every trade is gonna be a win, but you're gonna be way better. And here's what that comes from. If you ever read a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, that's where he talked about something called the 10,000 hour rules. So people who are world-class, like the best in the world at what they do, they have over 10,000 hours of practice doing what they do. Here's the thing, that's to be world-class. That's to be one of the best in the world. You don't need to be one of the best in the world at most things. You just need to be decent. And there's a lot of other books on this topic too. Of course, there's Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. There's another great book called The Talent Code. And there's another one called Talent is Overrated. And they all basically the same thing. 10,000 hours makes you an expert. But do you need to be an expert to make money in the market? You probably need to be an expert. So I came up with something called the skill acquisition matrix. This is based off a lot of reading and studying, right? So first skill, 100 hours makes you like not bad. Right, you don't suck. You're not amazing. This is anything. You're not amazing, but you're not bad either. When I say not bad, that doesn't mean you're good. It just means you're not bad. 100 hours. That seems to be the mark. Any of you ever played an instrument? You know, if you practice your instrument an hour a day for like 3 months, which is close to 100 days, right? You'll be not bad. Like you don't suck. Like people won't make fun of you. Like they won't laugh at you, right? If you do it, you're not bad. Now 1,000 hours, that makes you good. 1,000 hours makes you good. 2,000 hours makes you really good, really good. Like women see you do this thing, whatever it is, they start crying between their legs, right? You're that good. 5,000 hours, now you're amazing. Like you're so amazing that people start to not believe it. You know, they say it's fake. You know, they say it's weird. Like it starts to get in the realm of unbelievable. 10,000 hours, you're one of the best in the world. 20,000 hours, you're one of the best ever. One of the best ever. Like you might get a statue or some shit. They might name a high school after you, depending on what you're doing, right? And you can get good at anything with enough time. So let's just go 100 hours. You practice an hour a day. You can be good in 3 months. 2 hours a day, you can be good in around 2 months. 3 hours a day, you can be not bad in a month. 4 hours a day, you can be like not bad in like just under a month. I'll show you the other ones, but all I want you to pay attention to is the first one. If you just start paying attention for get you that 100 hours, so you're not bad at one strategy on one instrument, one setup, and only practice that thing. Because if you're practicing a bunch of shit, then this shit gets spread out. But these is concentrated hours. If you want to know how these other ones work, you just take a screenshot of this. But all I care about is you getting this 100 hours. That first 100 hours of practice before you start trading with your own money. Before you start trading with a prop firm, right? Because you're gonna be blowing evals and shit. You know. Now it might make sense to still get your evaluation account because then you can have access to the historical data. Like I don't think you can get access to NinjaTrader's historical data unless you have an account that's activated, and easiest way to do that is with a prop firm. I use Apex, but you can do it with anyone. There's a code down below if you want, you know, you can get your discount. Use my code. Use my code, man. I'm the one teaching you shit. But yeah, get yourself 100 hours, man. Because this shit is it's not easy, but it's not difficult. It's not the most difficult shit in the world. It's like, if you learn to play an instrument or something like that, then that's harder than trading. Like honestly, I think I play guitar, piano, I played drums in high school. Learning those instruments was more difficult than making this 50 grand I made last month, like straight up. But it's like, I just put in the hours, and this is boring though. It's boring putting in those hours. Now, here's the thing. Somebody's thinking of typing right now. Yeah, man, but simulating trading is not the same as, you know, because of emotions. You're 100%. Your emotions are going to be different when you're trading with your money or when you're trading with an eval account. And a performance account is different than trading with an eval account. Like emotionally, it feels different. You need to practice, because if you've practiced enough, it'll help with the emotions. You know, like, yeah, playing basketball in the NBA finals, I'm sure that's more nerve-wracking than shooting free throws alone in the gym. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't practice. Like Steph Curry still practices, even though it's not the same as the championship game. LeBron James still practices, even though it's not the same as Game 7. you know? Like, you gotta practice. Kobe still practiced, even though it wasn't the same as, you know, going for the gold medal in the Olympics, right? He still fucking practiced. And I don't understand why more trainers don't talk about practice. Maybe they do. I don't watch other people's trading shit because I have one strategy. I don't need to watch other people's shit. I just do what I do, keep my head down. Maybe they do talk about practicing, but I haven't heard enough people talk about it. Like, practice. You need at least 100 hours. Number 4, start meditating. I've been meditating for 15 years. 2 15-minute sessions a day. One in the morning, one in the afternoon. And here's why. I'm gonna show you a study right now. After 8 weeks of meditating, people said they had a significant decrease in stress and way less anxiety. Because here's the thing, when you're trading, and you're looking at that chart, you in the trade, it can be a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And you want to decrease that as much as possible, right? Because your emotions will fuck with you when you're trading, right? So here, let me show you the study. These motherfuckers did some sort of web-based training, but it helps manage stress. Here's another study. Okay, so this study showed that meditation actually changed your brain. So it decreased activity in your amygdala. This is your brain's fight or flight center. This is the part of your brain that makes you a motherfucking spaz. That has you like tripping and shit, acting crazy, spazzing out, sweating, nervous and shit. And it increased activity in your prefrontal cortex. That's where logic comes from. So here's a study. Psychological benefits of mindfulness meditation and emotional regulation. You can read the whole study on your own, but it just showed it actually changed your brain structure. It changed the part of your brain, the amygdala, that made you more of a spaz, and it increased the part of your brain that made you more logical. Even if you're not trading, you should do this every day. Here's another study. This study showed that 8 weeks of meditation, just mere 8 weeks of meditation, shrink participants' amygdala. There's another one right here. Boom. Mindfulness meditation, smaller amygdala. Remember, that's the spaz center. This is what makes you a motherfucking spaz. I'm telling you, if you're more logical and calmer, does it make sense to be more logical and calmer will make you a better trader? Yeah, that's what meditation would do. This is another study. So daily meditation enhanced attention, memory, mood, and emotional regulation in people who are not experienced. So this after like, this is another 8-week study. So the thing about meditation, it doesn't, some people say, man, I meditated, I didn't feel anything. Well, yeah, that's because it's more like lifting weights. Like if you lift weights today, you're not going to be motherfucking Schwarzenegger tomorrow. You got to do it over a while. It's like a muscle. It's like working a muscle, like exercise. It's gradual over time. So if you meditate today, the results will be negligible. The study showed 8 weeks is when the results really start to show. 8 weeks of consistent meditation. So you do these 8 weeks meditation while you're getting your 100 hours of fucking practice, then you'll be calmer. All right, it'll change the game for you. Number 5, always follow your rules. Whatever your rules are. I'm not saying you gotta have your rules, your trading rules. I only enter here. I keep my stop loss here. I'm take profit there. Whatever your rules are, always follow. Because like I said before, the problem with breaking your rules is if you actually win the trade, you train yourself not to follow your rules. And that's a big problem. And it's happened to me. One of my rules is I don't trade the first 2-minute candle. And the reason I don't is because anything can happen. It gets real wacky. You know, that's where a lot of standing orders are. And it gets crazy on that first 2-minute candle. So I don't trade the first 2-minute candle. I broke it again and I fucking almost blew my account once, man, because this shit went way too out of hand. So now it's back to, you solidified the rule. For my rule, never trade the 2-minute candle. That might not be your rule. I'm not saying you got to follow that rule. Whatever your rules are, you got to follow them. Always follow them. Don't break it for nothing. And it can be weird because it's like, you could think, oh man, I want to do this, but it's against my rules. And then you can see that, oh man, that would have worked out. Nah, man, it's still better to follow your rules. It's still better to follow your rules, man, because you don't want to train yourself not to follow your rules. You don't want to train yourself to break your rules. Number 6, use AI to help you journal your trades. See what worked and what didn't. And this is how how I came up with a lot of my rules, especially during that 200 hours. I would see some patterns like, oh, okay, when this happens, you know, okay, this worked well, this didn't. You know, I even journaled like the practice. That's how I developed a lot of my rules. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about your strategy. It gives you more confidence in your strategy, or it doesn't. Or you say, oh, this strategy don't work. After you get a sample size that's statistically relevant, you know, you're like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. You need to journal the trades. You'll learn a lot about your strategy, and you'll learn a lot about yourself too. Write down how you felt. If you fucking made a panic move, write that down. Try to get to the root of it. Trading will teach you a lot about yourself. There's a lot of things about yourself you didn't know. Anybody who's been trading for a significant amount of time can attest to this. You are going to learn a lot of shit about yourself that you did not know. Now, one thing you can do, this is what I do. I have a trade journal where I mark everything, but I open up ChatGPT. I have a chat in ChatGPT where I just speak my journal. I speak what happened. And then every once in a while, you could be like, hey, man, summarize this week of trading. So I'll be like, yo, July 31st, this happened. I did this, blah, blah, blah. And I just kind of talking to it. And then I tell them my doing, and then I say, yo, summarize that for me. Then I can say, yo, summarize this week. Tell me what I did bad. What patterns did you notice? Or you go to a month of trading. Hey, go back to the month of August. Tell me what I did right and what I did wrong and what I need to work on for next month. You can have ChatGPT analyze your journal. It's kind of cool. Now we got AI. When I first started trading, we didn't have AI. And then number 7, this is really important. Follow a trading routine. So I have a few things I need to do every morning before I trade. I need to make sure that the room I'm in is straightened up. It's not clean, right? But it's got to be straight. It can't be shit on the floor. It can't be like looking wild in there. My version of wild. It still might look wild to you, but I need to be comfortable in there. I need to have already showered and did some cardio. I trade better, according to my journal. I trade better if I haven't eaten close to it. And for me, because of my strategy, I might have to wait a long time for my setup. So a lot of times I'll have ESPN on while I'm watching. I have SportsCenter on, like I in the background on another screen, waiting for my setup. Or I'll play my guitar so I'm not bored. Because a lot of times people will trade. If you traded before, you've done this. I know you've done this. You took a trade just because you were bored. You were just bored and you took a trade. You started looking for shit, making up setups. So I played my guitar. Now I have a Discord. I have a Discord trading group where it's like I started reading the chats, talking to the guys in there because I'm sharing my screen, showing them everything. That actually made me a better trader, having someone to talk to, right? But I just know I have to have a setup. If I don't get enough sleep, I won't trade. If I was up too late the night before, I won't trade. It's like if my routine is off in any way, I won't trade. And that comes from my journal. I had to learn that from my journal. I would look at some like big red days, and then I went to my trading chat and I was like, yo, what are some of the patterns you noticed on my red days? And said, yeah, man. One of them said, oh, you stayed up too late the night before. You didn't get enough sleep, And I'm like, yeah, my mind wasn't right. Okay. So if for whatever reason I don't sleep, if something happens or I just can't sleep, I can't get my 7 hours of sleep, then I just won't trade that day. Because if you don't trade today, guess what? You broke even. And a break even day is better than a red day. I'd much rather have a break even day than a red day. So follow a routine. And if it gets broken for any reason, hey man, you ain't got to trade that day. You don't have to trade every day. Don't force it. Hey guys, if you want to learn more about my strategy, how I trade with funded accounts, so I don't even have to use my own money, I'm doing a live training August 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll break down the whole thing and I'll sit there, I'll answer all your questions. Like we did this before, it was a lot of fun and I stayed on and I answered everyone's questions. Hit the link in the description, sign up for that. All right.